Again, John Karel von Baalen, The Chaos of Cults, is concluding his article on Spiritism. He's talking about the attitude of the Bible about Spiritism and the attitude of Spiritism about the Bible and about Christianity in general. The Bible on Spiritism. The scriptures contain many references. For an intelligent understanding of these, the following definitions from the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia may serve. First, consulter with a familiar spirit, that is, one who was possessed of a python or soothsaying demon. Divination, the art of obtaining secret knowledge, especially that which related to the future, by means almost exclusively within the reach of special classes of men. Familiar spirits, spirits which were supposed to come at the call of one who had power over them. They were probably called familiar because it was a servant, that is, a famulus belonging to the familiaris, who might be summoned to do the commands of the owner. The Hebrew word means hollow because the voice of the spirit might have been supposed to come from the one possessed, as from a bottle, or because of the hollow sound which characterized the utterance, as out of the ground. That is referencing Isaiah 29 verse 4, by the way. Necromancy, that is consultation with the dead. The attempt was condemned, though the end could not be attained. Sorcery, or sorcerer, one who muttered incantations or spoke in ventriloquial whispers, as if under the influence of the spirits of the dead. A witch, that is one who knows. The Hebrew word means a woman that hath a familiar spirit. And a wizard, a knowing one again. The word in the Old Testament always denotes a man who can interpret the ravings of the medium. Then he has a list of scriptural passages, and he deals with those passages in categories right here. He says, first, that all seeking of the dead was forbidden, and references Exodus 22 and Leviticus 20. Second, that Spiritism caused the destruction of 7 nations, and together with other sins, the death of Saul. That is 1 Chronicles 10:13. Third, that Israel was as much in danger of resorting to this sin as are Christians today. Fourth, that Egypt, in punishment for its sins, was abandoned by God to Spiritism, and there he references Isaiah 19 verse 3. Fifth, that its sinful character consists of finding out things hidden apart from the divine revelation, and references here Deuteronomy 18 as well as Isaiah chapter 8. Sixth, that Spiritism is the rejection of Christ, and again Deuteronomy 18. And seventh, in the light of the foregoing text, the modern revival of Spiritism seems to be clearly predicted in 1 Timothy 4 verse 1, and perhaps in Revelation 16, 13, or 14. Remember the frogs in the prelude to Armageddon in Revelation 16, the 3 frogs coming out of the mouths and the teachings of demons that they're likened to. Now he deals with the seance at Endor. That Spiritists cannot appeal to 1 Samuel 28 to support the view that the Old Testament sanctions communication with the dead, forbidding only iniquitous practices attending Spiritism in its decadent form, is evident from 1 Chronicles 10 verses 13 and 14. Even if Samuel did appear, this passage would only mean that God upset the seance and intervened. This is what happened is held by some pretty famous Bible expositors, including Kyle of Kyle and Delitzsch, Haldeman, Arthur Pink, James Gray, Panton, Schofield, and many others. Their arguments are these. First, the medium was terrified when the unexpected happened. Second, Scripture speaks 5 times of Samuel by that name. Third, the prophecy was fulfilled. Saul died the next day, and his army was routed. To which von Baalen says, yet the only apparent indication of Samuel's return is verse 15. Quote, and Samuel said to Saul, von Baalen goes on, if however other considerations prove that Samuel did not appear, these words must be explained. A, as a rendering of what the woman said to Saul, or as calling Samuel what looked like Samuel, just as angels appearing like men are called men in Genesis 18:1 and Daniel 9. And men called gods because they resemble or represent God in certain aspects or position. And here he references Psalm 82. God sits among the assembly of the gods, etc. Next time he's going to deal with his position, which he says is supported by some pretty heavy weights in the International Standard Bible Encyclopedia and elsewhere, that Samuel did not appear, really, but this was a counterfeit. I'll put in a link this time to JW's, that is Jehovah's Witnesses' misuse of Ecclesiastes to prove that there is no afterlife and no consciousness after death. And also I'll put in a link to our Hell in the Afterlife playlist. See you next time.